So I think we can all agree that humans are a pretty curious bunch. It's safe to make the generalization that we all possess, to a certain degree at least, some sort of a curiosity gene, or more specifically, a sort of drive or ambition to discover, to explain the world around us, to innovate, to improve, to create. But in the long run, what comes of this natural predisposition? What is so important about this apparent human gene that sets us apart from the rest of the animal kingdom? I'd be willing to make the claim that this innate curiosity is the central root of technological and scientific progress. The acceleration of this progress can be clearly observed through a historical lens. If you trace our steps back for the last few thousand years, you'll see that the transition from copper tools to steel tools is roughly 3 or 4 times as long as the transition from steel tools to nuclear bombs. Or, for a more relevant example, the handheld smartphones we have in our pockets are thousands of times faster and more powerful than the giant room-sized computers that sent us to the moon only 50 years ago. Now, the interesting question follows. What are the societal implications of such drastic transitions? If you look, again, through a historical lens, it appears that a rapidly accelerating trend of technological advancement puts an immense strain on existing societal standards, customs, and institutions. For example, you can look at the printing press and its impact on the cultural and religious climate of early modern Europe, or the impact of the Industrial Revolution on the accepted role of government intervention in a modern free market economy. Or even today, anybody who's been around for more than 20 years can observe the clear effects of social media, widespread internet consumerism, and the unparalleled exchange and availability of digital information. Now, even more interesting, and not to mention important, is to consider the implications of this trend to the future. In the field of computer science and robotics, the recent developments in artificial intelligence with neural networks and machine learning have the capability to completely overhaul the structure of contemporary society. We're looking at software that's learning to detect lung cancer more effectively than our highest trained, most qualified medical professionals. We're looking at self-driving cars and autonomous vehicles that will redefine the landscape of modern transportation. In the medical field too, we're looking at groundbreaking research that's almost counterintuitively revealing immense medical potential in substances like psilocybin mushrooms to combat 2 of America's most prominent crises, mental health and addiction. We're looking at an emerging field of genetic engineering that, if approached responsibly, could help us tackle some of the greatest problems in modern medicine. Ultimately, the point is that we're on the verge of some pretty big changes. Now it's more important than ever to keep an open mind, to be willing to consider new ideas that will challenge everything you thought to be true, while still maintaining a degree of rational skepticism. To open the door for discussion on not if change will happen, but how it will happen. And more importantly, how we can alleviate its adverse effects. Ultimately, we need to do everything we can to ensure a smooth transition into this next era of human accomplishment. History has shown time and time again that our societal standards, values, and institutions are anything but rigid. They're malleable, they're flexible, and they're surprisingly volatile. And even though this might invite a sort of uneasiness for what lies ahead, I'd have to admit that I'm pretty excited to see the countless opportunities that the future will hold. To my fellow classmates of 2019, teachers, family, and friends, we're living in as good a time as any to witness the unprecedented force of human curiosity and its seemingly boundless potential to improve each and every one of our individual pursuits for happiness. Thank you.